Hi, this is Alan from the Ultra Development Team, and in this video I will be showing you Tactical Combat View. First I will show you, or I will explain to you the interface that we see here, and then I will go into the details of how combat mechanics work. So first thing we have here on the left is the sector map. Here we can move around on the sector, we can click around and see what ships are in here. We can only see one sector at a time, but if you find yourself on the edge, you can spill over into the other sectors and see what ships might be coming your way. Next to this you have the power meter and the moves meter. Essentially when you're out of power you can't shoot, you can't move. Same thing with the moves, you can't move. Simple enough. Next to that we have the left port, and this is displaying what ship is currently selected. So in this case it's the Scout, which I named a Screecher. Next to this panel here we have the weapons panel. Here it displays the weapons, and you can enable and disable them like so by clicking on them. You will see them in different colors. For example, if your weapon is damaged, which is very likely, it is the first component to go when you're attacked. They're not protected by armor. So it will go red, and there will have a little message here saying that they are damaged or destroyed. You can disable them by clicking on them, so that, for instance, if you wish to only fire with the neutron streamer or the plasma bolt, you can disable the other one, shoot, and then you'll have the other weapon available for shooting at another ship. Also in this panel is the Specials tab, and if you click on that, there would be displayed whatever specials might be available on the ship. For instance, shields or stealth devices. These can be enabled and disabled as well. On the next panel here, on the right hand side, port, we have what the target is hovering over. So for instance, if I hover over this assault ship, you'll see it show up at the bottom right there. Now, these green tabs here, these are structure points. There are 8 of them on each ship, and they will change colors to indicate their level of strength or damage on the ship. If you look on the right hand side port here, there's a little white indicator, and that means when I fire my weapons, it will hit one of those sides. One of the sides that are highlighted in white. Next, here we have the scan button. There's a shortcut key for that. It's if you hold shift, you can see that we're scanning the vessel that we're hovering over, and it'll give us detailed information of what their core systems and weapons are. Now it's possible that your scans are disabled. If you look at the core systems there are scanners. If those are damaged or destroyed, your scanners will not work properly. Next to that button is wait. If you press this button, your ship's initiative will be appended to, or will be postponed until the end of the turn. So this scout ship will end up going last instead of going first. Next to that is the comms. And this panel here is going to be showing you all of your ships available, or actually all of your task forces in the game, so that you can select them and the camera will pan and switch over to them. Next, we have launch fighters. Essentially, you can launch little mini ships that will attack your targets. Though you'll need fighter bays for these. Next to that, here's the attack button, and basically that toggles the attack mode so that you're always in attack. There's no move context sensitivity or anything like that. So this is especially handy when you're trying to attack a planet. With the context sensitivity, you can actually move on top of a planet, unlike ships where you can't move on top of one. So this button becomes very handy when you're bombing planets. Next to that is the board button, and this one here you will be using in the tutorial. You can board a vessel, so long as their shields are disabled and their engines are disabled. And when boarding, this is kind of a neat feature, is that you can, if you win the boarding combat, there is a chance that you will be taking over the vessel. So if you attack an alien ship, for example, and you board it, this ship here can be under your control if you win and it doesn't self-destruct. Also on this panel here is the task force lock. What this does is essentially will lock you into the task force. So whenever you hit done, instead of cycling through all the ships in view, the ships that are not in the currently locked task force will act automatically. So you only need to control, if you only want to control the one task force, you use that task force lock when you have the ship selected. Next up are the rounds. There are 20 rounds per tactical combat phase. In each round, every ship will have one opportunity to act, meaning they can move and attack during this time. And the order in which the ships attack or move is determined by their initiative, which is displayed up here. So for instance, it's currently initiative 4 of round 5. This ship here has an initiative of 4, that's why it's his turn, whereas the mothership here has an initiative of 16, which means that this ship here will always go before the mothership unless you use the weight. Now that's determined by their speed, so a little tiny fighter ship is much faster than a mothership, which makes sense. Now to end this guy's turn, so this guy has a turn, he can move and attack during this time, so let's do that. We can move him, we can turn him using right click to rotate in the direction that the cursor is facing, and then we can fire on another vehicle. So in this case here we can see that there was a special weapon effect caused by my neutron streamer. Every weapon has a type of special or unique property that will either do damage over time or drain energy, other similar effects. Okay, so now I'm finished with this guy. There's nothing else I want to do with him, so I can click done, and it will move on to the next ship in the task force, or rather the next ship whose initiative is up. So this other scout ship is also initiative 4, so it's his go, and now I can do what I did with the last one here. I moved him around, have him rotate. Oh, he's out of moves, so I can't rotate anymore. But this gives me an opportunity to explain the arcs. So as you can see, when I hover over here, you'll see in the neutron streamer here is out of arc. Now, the arcs on the weapons are determined by their mount types. Now this is something you'll be facing when you're designing your ships. Light mounts have an arc of 360 degrees, whereas regular and heavy mounts can only fire in the direction, the general direction that they're facing. So I had mounted the neutron streamer on the front, so I can only really attack ships that are generally in front of me. This allows for all sorts of combat scenarios. Here's the auto button. This button here, when enabled, which can be toggled with the space key, will allow your ships to act automatically. Now up here you have your controls for speed. This is the fast forward. You'll see the stars move faster, combat moves faster. You want to use that if there's a lot of combat going on, but you don't want to miss out on anything. Yeah, you can enable and disable that by pressing this. The next button next to here is the skip. So if you don't want to see the combat anymore, you press this button here. It will put it as fast as it can possibly go, and basically it will return you to the end of the rounds. So it'll cycle through rounds 0 through 20. Now if you need any more assistance on this screen, or if you forget anything, you can always hit F1. The F1 key will launch this help screen, and this is available on each screen in Horizon, and it has a specific little image for each screen to explain, exactly what the components are, the important components, and yeah, make sure to make use of it if you forget how to do anything. So that's it for me for this video. I will leave you with some automated combats. Thank you for watching. Have fun.